Why do you feel so lost? No, really. Why do you feel like you're drifting through life? You're going from one thing to the next, and you're never truly feeling satisfied. I want to tell you that this feeling of being lost is not random. It's not just happening to you for no reason. It's happening because you don't have a compass. You basically don't have something that is guiding your decisions and keeping you on the right path, or pulling you back when you stray too far and you go towards the wrong path. And without that compass, you end up stuck, you end up repeating the same mistakes, and you end up in situations that you don't want. And at the end of all of this, you feel like, why life is so hard? Why? Hi guys, my name is Adriana and welcome to my channel. I used to feel completely lost in life too. And I was overwhelmed, I was burned out, and I was constantly questioning if I was on the right path. I feel like I was questioning if I am on the right path for the past 7 years of my life. Basically, ever since I started uni and I had to commit to one course, to one life path, and to one identity, I have been feeling out of place and out of alignment. And the thing that took me out of that was the fact that I finally decided to uncover my core values. And that's the thing that changed everything for me. My life became simpler, my decisions became clearer, and I finally started living in alignment with who I am. And in today's video, I'm going to help you do the same. You will uncover your core values and you're gonna realize what are the things, what is my map, what is my compass that guide every decision that I make. So let's get started. Step number 1 is you need to understand why you feel lost. Okay, you need to realize something right now. Feeling lost is a symptom, is not the problem. When you don't have clear values, you're basically like a boat that doesn't have an anchor. So every wave of opinion, every wave of expectation or distraction, it will throw you off your course. And before you know it, you have drifted so far from yourself that you don't even recognize your life anymore. You say to yourself, how did I end up being like that? Let me ask you this. How many times have you said yes to something just because you didn't know what else to do? Or how many times did you follow a path that felt safe but it left you feeling empty? Because I've been there, for years I said yes to things that I didn't want to because I didn't have a framework to guide me to decide whether to say yes or no. I thought, okay, maybe these will make me happy, and it just ended up making me more unhappy, more confused, and more unfulfilled. I didn't know who I was, and that's why I felt so lost. The truth is, you don't find yourself by accident. You have to create yourself. And the first step to creating yourself is uncovering your core values. Step number 2 is to recognize what core values are and what they aren't. So let me make this simple for you. Your core values are like your compass, right? They are the principles that guide you. They are the things that truly matter to you at your core. Without these things that truly matter to you, without these things that guide you and mean something to you, you will always feel like you're wandering. You will always feel unsure of what you're doing or why you're doing it. But here's what you need to realize. Your core values are already inside of you. They're not something that you choose. Oh, you're like, oh, let me choose. I want to have this value and this value. No, it's something that is inside of you already and you just uncover. And they are unique to yourself. You have a unique blend of values. Not everyone cares about the same things. Not everyone values the same things. This isn't about what society tells you to value either. It's not about what your parents tell you, what your friends tell you, what Instagram tells you that you should care about. It's about you. So think of it this way. If life is a journey, your core values are the map that will show you the way. And without them, you are just hoping that you're gonna stumble onto the right path. And nobody stumbles onto the right path by mistake. Something guides them there, something leads them there. There are a lot of people that think that life is random. And yeah, life can get random if you let it. If you're not guided by yourself, be certain that you will be guided and used by someone else for their own motives and for their own intentions. Step number 3 is to reflect on what you are prioritizing right now. Here's where things get real, okay? Take a moment and ask yourself, what am I actually prioritizing in my life right now? And I don't mean what you say is important. I mean what your actions show is important. So, what do you always make time for, no matter how busy you are? Where do you spend your energy even when you're tired and exhausted? What do you feel guilty about when you neglect it? You need to understand that your actions are a mirror of your values, whether you realize it or not. When I did this exercise for the first time, I realized that I was prioritizing other people's opinions over my own happiness. I said yes to things that I didn't want to because I was afraid of disappointing others. And that's when I knew that my value of authenticity wasn't being honored. And it was why I felt so out of alignment. When one of your values is being dishonored, you feel misaligned. So step number 4 is to look at your highs and your lows. So this step requires you to look back at the most meaningful moments of your life, the highest highs and the lowest lows. Your highs will reveal what you truly value, and your lows will show what happens when those values are missing. So, for example, when have you felt the most alive, the most proud, and the most fulfilled? What values were present in those moments? And similarly, when have you felt the most drained, the most hurt, or the most out of place? What values were missing? Think of your core values as the roots of a tree. When those roots are strong and they're nourished, you grow and you thrive. But when those roots and those core values are neglected, your life feels unstable and you basically become like a tree in a storm that you're constantly being blown in every direction because your roots are not strong enough, and so that tree is easily being able to just being thrown out by the wind. That's why it's important to have your values and to honor them and strengthen them so they can hold you down and keep you grounded. Step number 5 is to test your values with some hard questions. So now that you have identified some potential values, it's time to test them. You need to make sure that they are real for you and they're not just things that you wish were important to you or that you think that you're supposed to value. So, for example, a lot of people think that they're supposed to say that one of their values is kindness. Well, that value doesn't really resonate as a core value for them, and it doesn't pass the litmus test of actually being their core value. They just say that because they think, oh, like if I don't say that I value kindness, that means that I'm a horrible person. You need to go at this without any judgment and just discover and uncover what's true for you. So ask yourself these 3 questions. The first question is, will I sacrifice this value for money, success, or approval? For example, you value authenticity, and at work you're pressured to dress, to speak, or to act in a way that feels fake just to gain approval from your colleagues or from your clients. And yeah, these will help you maybe climb the ladder faster and to blend in, but can you genuinely celebrate if it means that you're dimming your true self and you are dishonoring one of your core values? The second question is, have I consistently honored this value even when it was inconvenient? For example, you might value friendship, and your best friend calls late at night and they're crying and they need support. You are exhausted after a long day and it's tempting for you to ignore that call. But showing up for her when it's inconvenient and when you're tired, it proves that you truly live by that value. And the third question is, can I see myself living by this value in 20 to 30 or even 50 years from now. For example, here you might value freedom. And right now, you might feel tied to a job or a relationship that doesn't align with your long-term vision. So you ask yourself, if I stay in this situation for 20 years, will I look back with regret for not pursuing the freedom that I wanted? Will I wish that I have taken the leap towards that life that felt true to me? So these are the three questions. For me, for years, I thought that ambition was one of my core values. But when I really examined my life, I realized that I very often sacrifice ambition for balance. And that's when I knew that ambition wasn't core to me, but balance was. You need to realize that this process is not about judging yourself. It's about getting honest with yourself to just discover what are those core things, what are those core values for you. Step 6 is to narrow it down to your top 3 to 5 values. Here's where most people get stuck. They want to keep everything, but you can't live with 20 different values. It's impossible. You need to focus on 3 to 5 values that feel non-negotiable for you. Those are the ones that will guide every decision that you're gonna make. It's the same thing as when you're packing for a trip. You can't take your entire closet, even though you like all of your clothes. You have to keep the essentials that you want to take. Your core values are the essentials for your life. For me, my core values are growth, connection, health, freedom, and authenticity. So these are the principles that guide every decision and every choice that I make. Step number 7 is to start living by your values. And this is the most important step. It's not enough for you to know your values. You have to live by them. You have to live by them. So use your values as a filter for every decision that you make. And ask yourself, does this align with my values? If the answer is no, have the courage to say no. Once I started living by my values, everything changed. And I'm not being dramatic. I stopped overcommitting to things that didn't serve me and that didn't align with my values. I turned down opportunities that looked good on the surface, but they didn't align with my deeper purpose. And you know what? My life finally started to feel like my own. You need to understand that your core values are more than just some words that are on a page and then you're gonna forget about them. They are your guide. They are your anchor. They are your foundation. They are your compass. So without them, life will always feel chaotic and directionless. But when you know your values and you live by them, everything becomes clearer. You stop chasing what doesn't matter and you start building a life that feels right for you. So my suggestion is take the time to uncover your values. Write them down, define them, and live by them. You will thank yourself later. If you want to do this exercise, I have in the video description a PDF workbook that will help you identify your core values. If this video helped you guys, leave a comment and share your top core values. I'm curious to know, and if you're ready to keep growing, hit subscribe because I've got so much more to share with you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.